Welcome back. Now with your 5-day weather forecast, here's Shallow Adams.
I hope you purchase all of your new spring apparel because the temperatures will be more seasonal towards the end of the week. Today will be partly cloudy with a chance of rain and flurries. Today and tomorrow we'll see a low of -1, but today we'll see a high of 7. Thursday and Friday we'll see a mix of cloud and sun, with tomorrow bringing us to a high of 8. Friday will have us at a low of -2 and a high of 7. Saturday will stay at a low of -2 but rise to a high of 8. On Sunday there is a chance of rain and we'll have a low of +1 and a high of 6. That's your 5-day weather forecast. Now back to you in the newsroom.
Thanks, Shiloh. In a second straight day devoted to same-sex marriage and the rights of gay couples, the U.S. Supreme Court is debating if the Federal Defense of Marriage Act and related issues are constitutional. The act limits the definition of marriage to being between a man and a woman. Yesterday, justices heard the arguments on the constitutionality of California's ban on gay marriage, known as Proposition 8. In that case, justices showed a reluctance to make a broad ruling on the right to marry for gays and lesbians. Rulings in both cases are expected by the end of June.
In their latest provocative act, North Korea has cut a key military phone line with their neighbors to the south. The line was essential to operating one of the last examples of cooperation between the two states, an industrial complex in the north that employs hundreds of South Korean workers. What this means for South Koreans working at the plant at the time of the communication breakdown is unclear. Many South Koreans were stranded in the north when the link was last cut in 2009. In a statement announcing the shutdown, North Korea repeated its claim that war may break out at any moment.
Bank of Cyprus chief Yanis Capri has been fired today as part of restructuring the bank. Cyprus has been facing an economic crisis, and citizens have expressed outrage over the bank withdrawing money from their accounts. After being closed for almost 2 weeks, Cyprus banks are expected to reopen tomorrow, but with limits being imposed on money transfers. However, authorities are considering increasing the withdrawal limit from 100 to 300 euros.
Back at home, the Supreme Court of Canada has ruled that police need more than a general search warrant to intercept text messages. In a 5-2 split, the court ruled in favor of TELUS, who is one of the only internet service providers in Canada, to routinely save its clients' text for 30 days. Police will now need a wiretap order to seize text messages from your wireless provider.
A report from a committee headed by the country's top judge, Supreme Court Justice Thomas Cromwell, calls for restructuring of the family law system. The report outlined more than 24 recommendations. It suggests there be positions for specialized judges who oversee a family law dispute from beginning to end, and also the creation of unified family court branches across the country. It also recommends that estranged spouses be forced to attend a mediation session before going to court. The family law system has been under attack for the past 2 or 3 decades, and the report says law schools have to stop minimizing the importance of family law.
And now with your sports news, here's Samantha Martin. Hey everybody! The Leafs edged past the league's worst Panthers last night at the ACC with the help of Joffrey Lupul. The Buds took it 3-2 with Dion Phaneuf scoring in the second period and Lupul netting 2 quick goals in the third. After the game, Lupul spoke about the line change that moved him to the top beside Tyler Bozak and Phil Kessel.
It was just a little shake-up, I think. Things were a little stagnant for us probably in the first period, and sometimes, I don't know if it's permanent or what it is, but sometimes just a little switch can get freshen everyone up a little bit. So that's what happened, and we made them look good.
Chicago fans had some fun watching a special guest shoot the puck during intermission at last night's game. Mr. T took to the ice wearing a Blackhawks jersey to take part in the shoot the puck competition. Mr. T's first and second shot both went wide, but the third time's a charm. There are only 4 games on tap tonight in the NHL. There'll be an original 6 battle as the Bruins take on the Habs in Montreal. The Bruins are coming off a win over the Leafs, and the Habs have lost 2 straight. Phoenix is in Minnesota to take on the Wild. The Coyotes are currently sitting 9 spots behind the Wild in 13th. The Avalanche are facing off against the Flames tonight in Calgary. Colorado is in last place in the West with only 26 points on the season. And the Sharks are hosting the Ducks tonight. The Sharks are just barely holding on to 8th spot in the West and need a win. The Raptors are hosting the Hawks tonight. Toronto is on a 4-game losing streak and have recalled rookie forward Quincy Acey from the Bakersfield Jam of the NBA Development League. Acey has appeared in 19 games with the Raps this season and has averaged 2.8 points. It still isn't clear if Rudy Gay will return to the lineup tonight. The 39-32 Hawks are looking for their second chance of clinching a playoff spot. And the Jays are playing the Rays this afternoon. It's been announced that Brett Cecil and Jeremy Jeffries have made the Jays roster. That's all for sports. Now back to the newsroom.
Thanks, Samantha. A small California town has its own Batman. A 19-year-old college student has been patrolling the small town of Petaluma for the past few months at night on an electric scooter. Dressed in black pants, a Batman t-shirt, a yellow belt, along with mask and cape, he monitors the streets at night after attending classes during the day. He has gathered a fan base on Facebook and stages choreographed fights with what he calls the Petaluma Joker.
That's all for Humber News today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kelly Snyder.
And I'm Ryan Sonnercook. Humber News is written and produced by journalism students at the North Campus. You can also catch us on YouTube. We'll see you next time.